It's officially Women's History Month, and March is a special month because it also helped change pop culture as we know it. Quick little history lesson for you. In March of 1994, there was a want ad that was published in a British newspaper called The Stage. It read, "Are you 18 to 23 with the ability to sing and dance? Are you streetwise, outgoing, ambitious, and dedicated?" Heart Management Limited are a widely successful music industry management consortium, currently forming a choreographed singing/dancing all-female pop act for a record recording deal. CVs and photos and demos are being collected with audition dates soon to be released. Please send your CVs, etc. to Heart Management Limited with the address noted here. So this was published in the newspaper, and over 600 girls responded and 400 auditioned. And only 5 were selected. Any guesses? Welcome to Making the Brand, the podcast where marketing and pop culture collide. I'm your host, Brianne Fleming. I can't wait to chat about brands, boy bands, and everything in between. Because brands who have a pulse on pop culture can create adoring fans of their own. So, who of those 400 girls who auditioned were chosen for the all-female pop act? Of course, they were Emma Bunton, Melanie Brown, Melanie Chisholm, Jerry Halliwell, and Victoria Adams, who we now know as Victoria Beckham. And that's how the Spice Girls were born. So look at that, a little advertising and pop culture history all wrapped up into one. So what can we learn from the best-selling girl group in history? Well, I think it's important to note that the members of the Spice Girls weren't chosen solely on their abilities. I think it's fair to say we don't really know the Spice Girls primarily for their vocals or for their dancing. They are so much more than that. They are the total package. And it's their personalities that help them stand out from the competition and reach their level of fame. Because you had the sporty one, the innocent one, the assertive one, the high maintenance one, and as for Ginger, did you know she was originally named Sexy Spice? She actually changed it to be more appropriate for the Spice Girls' young fan base. And although these skills are important, so is who you are as a person, because even the ad for the Spice Girls called for soft skills and personality traits like outgoing, ambitious, and dedicated. So the lesson here is don't be so quick to count yourself out because of who you may be on paper or what your resume might say, because you probably won't check every single box. And there are so many skills that can be taught. Your potential matters too. So the next time you're faced with competition, ask yourself, why not me? I am ambitious. I am a go-getter. You have all of these soft skills that can take you to the next level. So why not you? And that is what girl power, the Spice Girls' well-known mantra, that's what it's all about, right? Girl power was a movement, and it was such a smart way for the Spice Girls to connect with their young fans all over the world on something bigger than music, and it made their music more meaningful. The idea of girl power aligns with what we expect from brands when we ask them to start with why and define their why and clarify what their brand purpose is. Girl power was the Spice Girls' why. And there's more on this in episode 45 if you want to learn more about girl power and brand purpose and why it's so important. But girl power is what helped create Spice Mania. Their faces and merch were everywhere. Did you know the Spice Girls dolls were the best-selling celebrity doll of all time? And even today, I've found Spice Girls merch in places like Forever 21, to Urban Outfitters to Target. We also, of course, had the Spice Girls movie, Spice World, which my dad took me to back in the day in theaters. Thanks, Dad. But that's when you know your fame is next level, when you get your own movie. I'm sad, but not that surprised to report that Spice World only has 35% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it is still iconic. The Spice Girls had fervent fans like myself. My personal favorite Spice Girl was Ginger, so you can only imagine how devastated I was when she left the group. You already got a glimpse of how marketing-minded Ginger is, since she changed her nickname from Sexy Spice to Ginger Spice. I choose to believe that was her call, but maybe it was her manager's. But even Mel B admits that Ginger is brilliant and that she always knew the best way to generate press for the group. She was the mastermind behind one of the most iconic dresses in pop culture history, the Union Jack dress. You know the one with the British flag on the front and the peace sign on the back. You can even find it as a Halloween costume today. Ginger wore this dress in 1997 for a performance at the Brit Awards. But did you know that she was originally given a plain black little Gucci dress? Ginger knows that blending in is not the way to generate buzz. She thought the plain black dress was too boring, so she had her sister sew the flag to the front. And it was actually just a tea towel because you know how it goes. You're not meant to ever cut a flag, but a tea towel worked. Her stylist actually told Ginger that she shouldn't wear that because it represents National Front, which is an extreme party that existed in Britain. So Ginger's response was, no, we celebrate all cultures, so I'll put a peace sign on the back and everything will be cool. This dress ended up symbolizing girl power and unity. The next morning after the performance, a picture of the dress was on every newspaper across the world. This is an important takeaway for people and brands who are constantly trying to get attention on their content, but they're not willing to take creative risks. It's bold ideas that get talked about. And as one of my favorite authors, Seth Godin, always says, you have to challenge the status quo. Because once something becomes commonplace and ordinary, it'll be ignored because it's no longer remarkable. As for the Union Jack dress, Jerry Halliwell auctioned it off shortly after she left the group, and the Hard Rock Cafe purchased it for a record-breaking £41,000. So when everyone markets their brand in a plain black dress, be like Ginger Spice. Be brave and be bold. Today's episode is brought to you by Vinyl. Vinyl reimagines how you discover new music. It's a vinyl record membership club that syncs with your Spotify, so you can get new, curated records sent straight to your door. Each month, you'll look forward to unboxing 3 new records to add to your collection. Finally, music lovers like you can learn about and remember new artists in a meaningful way. Head to vinyl.org to update your music profile and set the vibe for your first box. That's Vinyl, VNYL.org. If you're a fan of this podcast, be sure to subscribe, or better yet, leave a review. For marketing wisdom with a pop culture twist sent straight to your inbox, sign up for my newsletter at briannefleming.com/newsletter, or find me on Twitter at Brianne2K. As always, thanks for listening.